Welcome to JHL Cinema Clash. In today's video, we'll be giving our predictions of how the X-Men will be introduced into the MCU. And we'll kick it off with Heido's got a couple of questions for us.
Yes, sir. What is your dream way of them being introduced into the MCU? The X-Men, per se.
That's a badass question.
What would I prefer? What would be your like
I got
MVP
one.
moment?
Okay, so I know Heido doesn't like this movie that much, but Multiverse of Madness, you know how Scarlet Witch was going teleport, and she ended up where the Illuminatis are at? That Professor X is there. Have her still kill Professor X. Have that universe that he's in is where the X-Men are at, and the mutants. The X-Men find out she killed him, and they end up going where her universe is at. And they have the epic battle, X-Men versus the Avengers, because she is an Avenger. And give that little fight with her with Jean. That would be a crazy, at least.
Yeah, that'd be a dope one, I'm not gonna lie.
Yep, and okay, you can see it like that Cap versus Iron Man. Something like that. But it'll be the X-Men versus the Avengers. I think that shit will be tough.
I'll be honest with you, I got nothing to add to that because that I think is an ideal way to introduce them into the MCU. It would definitely make that movie make more sense now, knowing that the X-Men is coming in.
So you guys don't think it would be more likely to see them with Peter Parker with Brand New Day? Like, he's looking for why is he mutating? You don't think he'll reach out to Professor X and actually be like, hey, I heard you guys have a school over here for mutants? Because I think that would be I think that'd be the way that they're gonna introduce him, but I'm not sure.
But the thing is, you did say dream. I was dreaming of you tonight.
For sure.
As cool as that would be, I think that the predictions are showing that there's a likelihood of a battle between X-Men and the Avengers. And if they introduce them in Brand New Day that way, where Peter Parker's just looking for him to get his professional advice or whatever on how to deal with this mutation, there's not really a backstory there as to why they would fight the Avengers. Where with what Jay was saying, I think there is. I mean, they're coming for vengeance because, Wanda killed Professor X.
I think if they're facing each other, the Avengers and X-Men, they could put their differences aside because they have to face Dr. Doom.
So I'm going to be honest with you guys. Either way they put the X-Men in there, the way, if you read any comics, right, and even the MCU, every time the Avengers are together, they always fight each other, even before the X-Men arrive. Like, if you look, Hulk fought Thor. If you look, Cap fought Iron Man. If you look, they fucking had a fucking battle royale going on in Captain America Civil War, where it was fucking a 6v6. I felt like a Rivals match for a second where they were fucking each other up. But that's kind of how they're always like that. And then they're like, we can fuck each other up, but any outside presence that's trying to kill us, fuck that. We gonna team up and we gonna fuck you up, and then we'll go back to bickering against each other.
That's
so. So I think, right, even if they bring it in with Spider-Man, right, if they bring him in with Professor X, him looking for the mutants and all that, remember their egos play a big part. Like, Tony Stark's ego is one of the biggest of the whole franchise. And Thor, he's the strongest Avenger in his mind, right? Let's say Wolverine's up there and tells him something cocky. He's going to be like, bitch, I'll fuck you up. I know Thor's like that, and so is Wolverine. Where he's like, I'll slash your ass up. And it doesn't matter how they introduce it. I know they're going to fight because of the egos that are going to be out of pocket.
It'll be fucking great seeing the X-Men versus the Avengers and the CGI. I hope it goes crazy. That shit will be fucking money.
I have another question for you guys. Do you guys think they should introduce all of the X-Men together, or should they introduce one at a time?
In a movie like Doomsday, where we're literally talking about the end of all existence, it wouldn't make sense to me they would just introduce one at a time. I mean, maybe scattered, right, throughout the movie. There's a segment where they're introducing more and more characters, but I don't see that. I see them coming out as one, just like the Avengers would for a battle.
I agree with last there. Or they can do that Cyclops is throwing that beam to the sky. We could put also that like back flashes of the school and seeing the mutants and seeing all of them, and that's how everything got fucked up. They can do that also.
To me, that would be a good concept too, but I don't see where Cyclops would beam any of the mutants. But they say that his beam is a portal to somewhere. So where he would beam all of the X-Men, right? And teleport them to 619, which is the current universe that they're in. The only thing is, Cyclops is too much of a goody two-shoes where even if he lost his shit, he's not gonna shoot them with the beam, right?
No.
If it was Wolverine, you damn right he's shooting everybody in that motherfucker pissed off. But he doesn't have that power. Somebody was saying that take that he kind of shoots them.
But shoots who? The mutant? No, I didn't mean him shooting the mutant. No, I didn't mean that. I meant like him being mad, mad at, that scene that he's shooting to the sky is because the symbiotes, am I correct?
The Sentinels?
Yeah, that they destroyed everything, and that's where he's at. So you can show them in that part before him, raging out. Why is he angry and all this shit? I wasn't saying him kill. He's too much of a goody good pants for that shit.
So do you think they're going to bring out just the main guys of X-Men? We all know Wolverine, Jean Grey, which Jean Grey is being played by the girl from Stranger Things. So Jean Grey, we've seen Cyclops, we've seen that Professor X is going to be on there, Magneto, but those are the older ones. Do you think that they're going to bring back the younger versions of them, which I would prefer to see, like the younger version of Magneto played an amazing part. And the reason I say that, because I just seen recently that the older man that plays Magneto, that motherfucker's 86 years old. Yeah. He got one more movie in him before he's dead. Let's be honest. The guy's not lasting till he's 90 something, right? And at least to stay competent, right? Or where he's not wearing diapers up in this bitch and shooting the
Who knows? He probably is under that suit.
I mean, at 86 is crazy. He's 14 years away of being 100, Patrick Stewart got to be up there too. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like that motherfucker's been around since I've been before my time. Like that motherfucker was in Star Trek, right? He was he was the leader of Star Trek.
But he's been Professor X for so long that in my books, for a long time, I actually thought he was in a wheelchair.
When you saw him walking around, you're like, wait a minute.
I don't know, because in the other movies, X-Men has come, they've been showing them little by little. And to see them all change out of nowhere is like, where does that all tie up then? And that's the thing, is how are you going to tie it up if you get...
Jessica Chavez. Jessica Chavez. She's going to be the key to bring everybody together. That's how I think that the MCU is going to show the X-Men. Remember, she's the one that can port through all universes. And she just learned with Doctor Strange how to kind of manipulate it without being angry or scared or anything like that. My whole thing is, I think the Avengers are going to get fucked up in that first movie. And then she's going to appear and tell them, yo, let's recruit more people because this guy's too strong for you guys. And I feel like she's going to port them to the X-Men, to Fantastic Four is already on their way, right? Because they're the first people to tell them, yo, the Galactus is coming. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like because in the end of Thunderbolts, you see the Fantastic Four ship at the end credits. So I feel like, right, they're gonna warn them, kind of like Bruce Banner did with Thanos, where he came down and he was like, "Yo, Tony, he's no joke. We need to gather everybody." Where I feel like the Fantastic Four is gonna show up and be like, "Yo, he destroyed our whole world, not just some people. He destroyed, he ate the planet, type shit. We need everybody." And then Jessica Chavez is gonna come and be like, "Yo, I can slip through different universes. Let's go pick up a few." And I feel like that scene where Cyclops is shooting the beam up top, I think they show up in that scene. Like, "Yo, we need you. There's somebody coming. He's strong." And they pick him up and pick up like that. I feel like they're gonna go through universes and picking up different variants of the X-Men. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's actually good. I just want them, when they do pick the X-Men up or however they get introduced, I just hope they make them seem so overpowered, because they deserve their flowers. We got to see their movies, and like we said in the other podcast, Wolverine took over. We need to see more of the X-Men, what they're capable of doing. And I hope they give them their flowers and they hype them up like onto another level. Like the Avengers look not as small, because obviously we know the Avengers could beat them because they have magical powers and shit like that. But make them seem like we couldn't do this without you guys.
So yeah, but they're gonna have a run for their money. Jay, I'm gonna be honest with you with the amount of X-Men, because the thing is, people just think that it's just those 6 X-Men. Like, they have so many X-Men, just as much as they do Avengers. Like, there's X-Men that people don't even know. Like, Multiple Man is in there. I don't know if y'all saw him in the X-Men 97. He's the guy that showed up like 3 or 4 of him.
Yeah.
Like, he's there. Havoc, that has a bigger beam than Cyclops does, which is his brother, the shoots that off the chest. Wolfbane, which she was the bitch that looked like a wolf. Psylocke, all those people are strong as fuck too. It's not like they're like the Avengers have their 6, but if you put the original 6 because of Thor and Hulk, maybe they're taking out the whole X-Men, their original 6, but they're gonna have a run for their money, because Jean Grey and Storm are different.
Yeah.
Both of those girls are different. And then they have Wolverine, which Wolverine's taking out Hawkeye, Black Widow, all of those, and even Captain America.
He's going hand to hand with the Hawk. I'm sorry to tell you that Wolverine's going hand to hand with the Hawk.
He won't even get the chance, because Jean Grey is gonna get in his mind and have him fighting versus Thor. It'll be Thor versus Hulk, because Jean Grey's controlling him.
Yo, you know what would be fucking crazy also? You could imagine if Professor X brings his posse, the X-Men, and then they have Magneto bring his villains, because they work for Magneto to save. Have Magneto villains also go just to help out the X-Men. That shit would be fucking tough, because like it's probably like an Avenger and an X-Men thing, but it's like Magneto versus Professor X, then putting their differences aside, and hey, we gotta do this shit or not, we all gonna die. That shit would be fucking crazy too.
We know Iron Man's fucked. Magneto gets a hold of him.
yeah, he's crushing them inside the suit. Yeah. So do you guys think that a lesser mutant should take a major role, right? Since the MCU is known for bringing superheroes that very few people know, and kind of give them a role where, oh man, I didn't know about this, and actually give them their flowers per se. Someone like those heroes that I just mentioned that are in X-Men 97, right? Like the part of the X-Force or the X-Factor, that are different groups. They're still X-Men, right? They're just different groups of the X-Men. Do you think they should give one of those, not them per se, but someone like a Jubilee or like one of those characters have a major role in one of these movies, right? Starting off. And my next question on top of that, do you guys think they should, because of Wolverine's fame, should they hold him back for a little later in the franchise so he doesn't take up the spotlight?
So I feel like he shouldn't come out at all. I feel like he should be hold out like for the first movie, I can say, not show him for the X-Men can shine. Because once he jumps in there's everybody's Wolverine again. If you give these people the chance to shine and just have him going through his little battles. He has different battles. He's doing his own shit. That's why he's not here. And they have fought in battles without him before, so why not this one?
What do you think, Les?
Well, we know he's coming out for sure. So he's definitely coming out in Doomsday. Is it his last appearance? I think it would make sense to Jay's point to introduce.
So are we talking about a movie of them or going into the...
No, just going into the MCU. Not yet. No, we're not talking about them getting their own movie.
They deserve it, though.
Yeah. So we know this is a fact, too, that once Doomsday's over, the next phase of the MCU is the X-Men. It's literally the next few movies will be of the X-Men, for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, he will, like Laz said, he will appear. But I want their first movie to be about them first. They can hold them back. Until
do you think they're going to go their backstory, per se? Are they going to do something like, how with the Avengers in the beginning phases, it was a movie of Iron Man, a movie of Captain America, a movie of Thor, one of Hulk, and then the Avengers? Do you think they're going to do something like that where it's solo films and maybe a solo series and then gradually go into a X-Men movie? Because I think that would be dope, because then you would really give them like places to shine, because you can do one that's like the Dark Phoenix, you can do one that's like Storm, you can do one that's kind of their backstories before Wolverine.
So what they could do is have them start with Professor X, because he's the one that holds everything together and finds the other mutants and get them together and shit. So they could start with him and Magneto having their little ups and downs. They could start with him, then getting Cyclops, then having a movie of Cyclops, and then they'll go from there. I don't want to see no one new yet. I don't think no one deserves to be like a new mutant. Deserves to be there yet.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Jubilee, and I like what they gave Jubilee in X-Men 97, right? And like I said in our previous clip, right? We didn't know what was her powers. We knew she had like the fireworks shit, but then they kind of gave her feats, like, yo, these are her powers. This is what she really can do,
Yes.
So I'd like to see something like that with her, maybe even an Iceman. Like, they showed Iceman very little in the first original X-Men movies. I'd like to see him come out. He's it's true, a lesser member of the X-Men, but he's dope too. It's like a Sub-Zero.
Yeah, the thing with that is, if you introducing a new mutant or someone that's a little known, it's more of a hit or miss. With the ones that you have stabilized as a Professor X, as a Cyclops, you're most likely to hit it out the park with them. You can't gamble with the first movie that is going to come out of them. You can't, because you know that if I see one movie that's trash, I'm going to expect the other one to be trash, and this is where the audience start falling down. My per se.
I think what'll happen is they'll probably certainly do like a backstory movie for the X-Men. I don't think they're gonna do too many individual like films or TV shows. There may be one or two TV shows dedicated to characters like maybe Jubilee, Psylocke, or something like that. And then we'll probably get an X-Force movie. I think that's very likely to happen, because they'll probably want to revive Ms. Marvel. That was a big disaster. And there is a version of the X-Force where Ms. Marvel is a part of that X-Force. So that would seem more possible. I would think that they would do something like that to see what they can do again with Miss Marvel, and if there's anything left there to do with her. I don't think so, but who the fuck knows? It'll probably be another opportunity for us to see Josh Brolin come back too, to be able to play Cable.
Okay, I can see that. I have a question for you guys. Since we are on the topic of X-Men solo movie, who do you think should play the first villain of the X-Men? Do you think it should be Magneto, Mr. Sinister? Do you think they should start with the Sentinels? Do you think it's too early for Apocalypse? What do you guys think?
I would say for sure, right? With the success they're having with X-Men 97, they need to go ahead and start with Mr. Sinister and start with that storyline that we had in season 1 and work your way through it. That is beautiful screenwriting. Like, you don't get no better than all you gotta do is take that shit and turn it into live action, and you got yourself a winner. And you can revive the X-Men franchise. Yeah, I think that would be their best bet, to be honest with you. And everybody's been wanting to see Mr. Sinister for some time now.
Yes.
So, do you guys know in the X-Men 97 in Sabanur?
Mm-hmm.
So I seen a hot take today, but I had to bring it to the podcast because it intrigued me so much. So they were saying that in Sabanur is the variant of Kang. Do you guys think that Kang is completely out of there? Or do you think that Jonathan Majors, right? Majors, whatever his name was, Majors. Do you think he's been playing it low key and in Doomsday he appears? Or is that just the X-Men 97 giving him his flowers in that particular part in the series?
I hope to see him come back, man, because he was really one of those villains that so much could have been done with that, and unfortunately, it was killed off. I really hope he comes back. I don't know how you feel about that, Jay, but I think that they definitely need to go ahead and put their differences aside and tell him, yo, come back and play this role, because I don't think anyone else could play that role like he did. And even looking at some of those AI footages that people have put out where it's him against Doom and it's like a bunch of him, brilliant, bro. I mean, that's crazy.
So I loved him in Loki. Not so much in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but Loki, man, I was so impressed with and the way he was talking about, hey, there's one that's worse than me coming. That I'm not even the worst one. Like, I'm not even close to being the worst one. The worst one is yet to come. I thought he played a great part. To your point, I would love to see him back into the MCU. I don't know, man. I like to see, because I don't know if you remember where they showed all his variants. There was one dressed in an Egyptian.
Yeah.
They said that was in Sabanur. So I don't know if that's...
Could be.
The only thing I would say is that in Sabanur has kind of like this weird... he reminds me a little bit of what is that guy's name? Namor. In the movie, remember the bad guy that was on the bridge fighting Black Panther's bodyguard? Forgot her name. That he had. He had that thing on his face. Looked just like that guy in I forgot his name already, but anyways, looked just like him. I don't know that was
that
exactly
guy.
Like that guy.
That guy.
But I know what you're talking about. I've seen that part, and that would be dope.
He could come back, like I said, but I said, it's the differences. Let's see, they could put it aside.
Yeah, it definitely would be interesting to see someone of that magnitude, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I enjoy most of his movies, right? I enjoyed him in Creed. I enjoyed him in like I said, the first Loki series. I definitely liked his part and his take on there. I didn't enjoy Ant-Man and the Wasp. He played a great role, don't get me wrong. I just felt like Ant-Man and the Wasp are too weak to to actually kill off like Kang. You know, they should have lost in that movie, and that's where they brought him in. The way they packed him up, like if he was a bitch. Me personally, I wasn't a fan of it. So, guys, do you think when we first meet Professor X and Magneto, do you think they should know each other, or should we start it off from like the beginning?
It's too far back. I think
Yeah,
we
I think
tried that already. And I'll be honest with you, I don't. There's a lot of X-Men movies that I've watched recently that to me ain't it. And I think that storyline, they've already tried it. Don't do it. Stick
Yeah,
with what was successful.
Yeah, I think they should know each other, and all comic book readers, whoever's seen the movies, we all know the story already. We don't got to go back. Have them know each other and have that beef. We need that beef, no matter what. Magneto can fuck them up.
All right, guys, if you like this kind of content, go ahead and follow, like, subscribe, and if you don't,